Investors worry now more than ever about a stock market crash. Here's why. A lot of investors have been wondering whether another stock market crash will happen. There's an easy answer to that. Yes, it will. Whether that's a week, month, or years from now is the real question. However, many analysts are predicting that another market dip can at least occur within the near future. While we can't predict the moment when it will happen, there are some indicators that could tell us another stock market crash is coming. By looking at what's already happened, we can perhaps figure out what to look out for. After all, history repeats itself. The why. Of course, there's the obvious, COVID-19. Almost as soon as COVID-19 became known globally, it seemed to hit almost every shoreline. As the virus spread, the markets fell. By mid-March, the S&P TSX composite was just one of the composites to have fallen nearly 40%, but the stock market crash goes far beyond that. While no one could have predicted the virus, many analysts had already believed that a crash was coming. Another factor was the oil and gas sector. The price of oil had been dropping for years, but then it came to a crashing halt with Russia and Saudi Arabia creating an oil price war with the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. Probably haven't heard the full name said out loud, but you've definitely heard OPEC before. I don't know if you've heard the full name. Yet on top of this was a poor economic situation that's been getting worse since the last financial crisis. Unemployment was up, the U.S. Federal Reserve announced an inverted yield curve, and there has been a large increasing corporate debt. Gross world product rose from 84% a decade ago to 92%, about 72 trillion. As the economic climate worsens, companies can't repay debts or refinance them, causing the restructuring we've seen. So here we are. The stock market crash is practically in the rear view to many, with the rebound underway for the last few months. But many analysts are warning that investors are falling into the bear market trap. Many believe the economic situation has changed when it really hasn't. Part of the rebound has been about from news with jobs being added and a vaccine soon being underway. But there isn't a vaccine available yet, and hundreds of thousands of jobs don't replace the millions of people with little to or no work. This is why analysts believe the markets will continue to crash well into July. The end of June means more earnings reports will come out, and more restructuring is likely. Overall, not much has changed. Oil and gas prices are still weak. The coronavirus is still very much a part of our everyday life. Countries are still struggling as debt climbs and businesses weaken. Companies large and small are going to have to make further cuts if there is any hope of survival. This is likely to trigger poor earnings reports and poor share price performance. So yes, I would say before the summer is out, we're going to see another stock market crash. Now the moment you've been waiting for, how can you possibly prepare? There are a few things you can do to prepare for the next stock market crash. First, sell stocks if you need money in the next year or so. Make sure you can pay your bills before anything else. Next, make sure your shares are in solid companies that will come out of the crisis well, even if that means a slump for now. And finally, have some cash on hand to invest in some more good companies should the market drop again. One stock that I personally have my eye on is Bank of America. I am going to crush the Bank of America option call. Of course, I want to time it well, but I just believe that being one of the largest banks in America and even the world, they are going to be posed for a comeback fairly soon. I mean, banks typically don't do too well in depression times, but they tend to come out strong. That's just me. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're prepared for this next stock market crash. Please subscribe. There will be more videos talking about different ways you can increase your personal wealth and maintain it. Hope to see you again soon. All right.